We joined the game between Teodora Inyak and Stavrula Solakidou. This is the all important clash because the result of the entire match depends on this one. For the Ganges Grandmasters in the yellow jersey, Javokir Sindarov scored the win. For the Fyers American Gambits, it was Bibisara Asaubayeva. And now, if here Teodora wins her game with the white pieces, she's clearly better. She's +5. Then she will be able to get the win for her team. She has 9 seconds on the clock. She's repeating here. She takes the pawn. E4 pushed by Stavrula. Check. King G8. The other check. There are many ways to win this game. But all that Teodora needs to do is keep her cool. Rook comes to F5, attacking the knight. And if you try to save it with the king, Rook A8 would be a pin. So knight E6, Rook F7. And now there's a mate threatened. So King G8, Rook E7, knight goes back, check again. And she goes Rook F7, King G8, King E1, E3, check here, king here. She plays Rook F7, Rook E7 now. And D4. So white is still winning, but black is gaining counterplay. And I'm pretty sure Teodora's confidence is going down. But if she takes a draw, her team will lose. So she needs to win, and she takes a draw here. She repeats and takes a draw. Oh my goodness. That's huge. And there you can see Vishy Anand. He's happy. His team has won. Because Javokir Sindarov won with black, got 4 points. Meanwhile, Teodora Inyak, if she would have won, Bibisara had already won her game. And there you see a draw between the game of Kaimer and Artemiev. One of the main problems in this game was that somehow the games that are shown live to the players on the TV screen were off. The live board, the DGT boards were not working, and you can see Hikaru, Bibisara not happy. Meanwhile, the Ganges Grandmasters are happy, but they're all talking about like, we can't see the results. Nor could you see that if 40 moves were done or not, because 2-second increment is only after 40 moves were made. And so, while this game has ended in the favor of Ganges Grandmasters, the players moved to the front of the stage and they even shook hands with each other. There you can see them shaking hands. But at the end of this, the Fyers American Gambits did make an appeal that this was something that they did not agree with the result. And so the appeals committee, this entire result went to the appeals committee, and they sat down and went over it. I managed to interview the owner of the Fyers American Gambit and the coach, and you can check it out what they had to say. I'm joined here by the owner of the Fyers American Gambits and the captain of the team. Guys, what happened today in your match against Ganges Grandmasters? You are still here at the venue. The match is over. If you could share.
So the match was not being broadcasted. The moves were not visible. The games were not visible. And this is very critical for a tournament like GCL, where it is a unique format where the moves get added after 40 moves. 2 seconds get added after 40 moves. And no one is writing a score sheet, so none of the players know when the 40 moves is going to happen unless they are able to see it on the screen. And this information was just not there for the players. So all the games started that way, and the screens were not visible. The games were not visible on the screen, and this made a massive difference in the board fight game, the last one which ended, because our player Theodora was completely winning in that game, but she couldn't see the move number, and I kept telling the chief arbiter during the game that please go and tell the move number, but he was not doing anything, and the players are visibly looking at the screen. They are trying to understand the moves, the number of moves. The arbiters can see that the player is looking at the screen, but there's complete inaction by the arbiter. The arbiter kept saying it's a technical issue, what can I do? It's a technical issue, what can I do? But it's the responsibility of the organizer and arbiter to make sure that the field of play is fair. So this critically influenced the round result. And the only reason why Theodora made a draw in that final position where she was completely winning was because she couldn't see the she could neither see the game results, nor could she see the score, which was not being updated instantly. It was updated much later.
So she drew her game, and if she would have won, the Fyers American Gambits would have won
Yeah.
the battle.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
the
So
entire match.
we have now appealed to the committee and we have requested for a rematch to happen, and I think that's only fair.
So when the game started, the broadcast was already like the games were not being broadcast. At that point, did this thought come to mind that maybe the game could start a little late, or did you?
Yeah, I was actually wondering why the arbiters even starting the other games when the first games were not being broadcasted. They could have delayed that and tried and worked on the issue. But all the arbiters were extremely busy trying to note down the moves, the move numbers of the games that were happening. And the arbiters themselves were not quite sure on what to do because this was an unexpected situation and they did not have a solution ready. We discussed this in the technical meeting as well, but we did not have a solution ready. This was raised. What if the DGT malfunctions? And the response was that we would go down to the old-fashioned way of writing it in pen and paper and trying to note down the moves. But when the situation actually happened, the response was quite delayed. It took a long time to go and start noting down the moves. And even then, there was no way for the players to look at the score sheet and know that which move number is being made. So there was no proactive response to what was happening.
I mean, even if you write on the score sheet, how is the player ever going to see when you have 2-3 seconds? Like, you can't call the arbiter and be like, yeah, show me how many moves are happening. So, I mean, it's totally unfair, I feel.
So what you are hoping for is a rematch or something, or what are you trying to?
We feel a rematch is
Yeah,
really
I think
fair.
it's fair because the playing conditions were not fair, and it really affected and played a massive role in the result of this match.
Okay, thank you guys for sharing your perspective.
Thank you.
The appeals committee sat down, and this was the main concern that was raised. Point number 1, move number was not known to the players on board 5, that is the game that we just saw, denying critical information as to when the move increment would start. I requested, that means Srinath Narayanan requested, that the chief arbiter inform the players of move numbers, but this was not done. In this unique format where there is no score sheet written and the increment began only on move 40, this malfunction critically influenced the outcome of the game. Point 2, the result and score were not displayed on the screen, denying critical information to our players, in particular board 5. This critically influenced our players who had to make a draw in the final position, which was winning for her, which critically influenced the match outcome. These were the points of Srinath Narayanan. You can read this entire page. And now we go to the outcome that was given by the appeals committee. The appeals committee, which had Victor Bologan, Gunnar Bjornsson, Gulmira Doletova, gave the decision that the appeal is to be rejected and the result of the match should stay on the grounds that 1. Both players had equal conditions of play with same access to the available information, and 2nd, during the game there was not identified any action from the player's side which would confirm the disagreement with the course of the game. Neither player, for example, chose to stop the clock to ask the arbiter the number of moves made or about the score in the match.